Hello, and welcome to another episode of A Ghost in the Magazine. I'm Steph.
I'm Sam.
That's Sam. All right, so we're continuing or starting, I don't know where in the rotation this is gonna fall. The Black History Month shenanigans extravaganza amazingness with Nope.
Gang, gang.
So, yes, all of that. All right, so Nope is another one of Jordan Peele's excellent adventures, which is fun because, we're also covering Wendell and Wild with Sam's Child. That rhymed. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. So, fun fact, I have had an adult candy. Yes. So, I don't know about yours, but mine could hit at any second, and so this could go
I
from
feel like
being hilarious.
I feel like as soon as you said that, my body said,
I think yes. Now, okay, that's fine because we're adults. We can handle things. I'm a professional podcaster, and Sam raised 3 whole children. She keeps them alive every day, and 2 dogs, and herself, and her husband. So like, we can do this,
for sure.
right? So we just rewatched this. However, I saw this in the movie theater and I took notes then. So we're going to go off of those notes, which I think is the responsible thing to do considering I had also eaten an adult candy when I rewatched this movie. Honestly, I feel like this movie is best enjoyed when not 100% sobies because it's a wild ride. But, you know, it's perfectly fine to watch sobies. Okay, so this movie starts traumatically. It doesn't even start with them. It starts on a movie set or a show set. I can't remember if it was a show. I think it was a show. Okay, with
Mm-hmm.
a chimp who has gone crazy on set and killed everybody, ripped faces off. Actually, one lady did survive, but she is horribly disfigured. And then the little Asian boy who his adult version is played by Stephen Yeun of The Walking Dead and probably other things, but I don't know anything else that he's been in. So he's Stephen Yeun of The Walking Dead. We love Glenn here in this house. Mad respect.
Period.
So how did you feel watching that monkey scene?
Sorry.
Incredible.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I had seen a video before I watched this movie. Like I watched somebody telling about this lady who got attacked by her pet chimpanzee. Or her friend, I'm sorry, her friend got attacked by the pet chimpanzee and he just mauled her. Like she's also completely disfigured. Terrible things. So I was watching it, I was stressed because I feel like that's happened in real life. And chimpanzees are low-key scary to me.
It did happen in real life, and I actually had attached at the bottom of this a screenshot of a TikTok that I watched not long after I saw this in the movie theater about Travis the chimp in 2009. It did
That's who I
actually,
was talking
yeah,
about.
mauled. And the picture of the chimp is psychotic and it's actually terrifying. So,
Literally, it's so scary. It's so scary. And did you know, sidebar, that she was like dosing him with like Xanax and stuff because he was very aggressive and she didn't want anyone to take him. So she was like dosing him with medication after her husband died because she couldn't handle him. And she had the audacity to bring that lady into her house.
okay, respectfully, okay.
Hello.
Don't have a wild animal as a pet, especially if you are not trained to take care of said
All
animal.
right.
Just a PSA. It was a very jarring way to start a movie. It was very bloody, it was very
For
graphic.
sure.
Something about this movie that's like it's really good for is the sounds. There are some god awful sounds in this movie and they're like amplified because everything around it is very silent. Like
Mm-hmm.
when they introduce Otis Jr. and his father, I guess Big Otis, Big O, out on this ranch, which I think is a wonderful
Whoa.
setting for this type of movie. Like, it's not really something that you could do well in the city. I think the dad is on the horse and it starts
Mm-hmm.
raining shrapnel and he gets like a coin through the eye and the brain and Otis Jr. they show like the fucked up eyeball with like a slit in it. I'm assuming it was a coin that went in.
It was a coin. Listen, the first time I noticed it the first time I watched it, but when I just watched it, I was obviously like somewhere else. And I noticed that they showed the x-rays of his eye, so it was very clearly his right eye. And then
Mhm.
they showed a close up of the bag with the nickel in it.
Yeah.
And it was very creepy. And then I started Googling stuff because I was lit when I was watching it. So what came up was Matthew 5:39. And I feel like there was something going on there because let me read to you Matthew 5:39. It says, if your right eye causes you to stumble, pluck it out and throw it away from you. For it is more profitable for you that one of your members should perish than for your whole body to be cast into Gehenna. I said,
I
excuse
did
me?
not know. Excuse me?
Excuse me?
You just boggled my mind.
Mind blown. I was mind blown. Because
I'm gonna
everyone, that's the thing that I've always seen is like, oh, it has something to do with the Bible, but I don't get it. No, I think it has everything to do with a Bible story.
I'm suddenly so uncomfortable because I always get extra uncomfortable when that shift happens in any movie, like into
Mm-hmm.
religious land, and I'm like, stop it. Shut your face.
Yeah.
Shut your face hole right now. Okay.
It
Well,
also started with a Bible verse.
yeah, and I didn't write
Yeah,
that down at all in my
I
notes,
did. You
but
want me
I
to read
did
it to
notice
you?
it this time. Yeah.
It says, no, I don't want to read it. I'm embarrassed because I don't know how to say the words. Nahum. Anyways, this man announces the destruction of Assyria and reveals that God will protect his faithful people, and punish all arrogant, violent, evil nations. He prophesies the downfall of Nineveh and Assyria. The destruction of the Assyrian Empire is an image of how God will confront and bring down all violent human empire.
Okay, put a pin in that because I have thoughts.
Okay.
I don't want to get
Okay.
lost in the wilderness, though. We are not Hansel and Gretel. I don't have enough breadcrumbs to lead us back here. So
For sure not.
okay. I wrote things down that I didn't even like capture in my brain this time watching it. So okay, good for
Hello?
me. Cool. So Emerald, who's the lovely Kiki Palmer, I'm obsessed with her a little bit. And
Me too.
she's just this both of them, they have this presence, and to put them together I feel like was the absolute best thing that Jordan Peele could have done.
For
Like
sure.
he knows what he's doing. I love Daniel Kaluuya. Like oh ooh, I just ooh, put them in more movies together please. Whatever you
I
put them in together, I'll
feel
watch. I will watch it. Like I will take my money. Just shut up and take my money and put them together more. So they're Hollywood horse wranglers. So after the father's death, OJ is trying to keep the business afloat by various dibble dabblings, and they show him on set. Emerald is late. And one thing that really gets me every time I watch this movie is how the white actress goes, "Oh, your name is OJ? Excuse me," because he's black.
mm-hmm.
He's not
Mm-hmm.
a serial killer just because his name is OJ. Or sorry, not a serial killer. He's not a murderer. Excuse me.
Because she says, what's the horse's name? And he said, Lucky. And then she goes, oh, is he? And OJ was like,
With his eyes. His
literally the whole movie.
I love like how downset his eyes are. They
Mm-hmm.
really do something. Like they really lend this like heavy punch to his character, and how his hat always sits up like that, like it's never fully
Mm-hmm.
on his head. Like he's a ranch man.
And he's
He is
always
a
hot.
horse guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he is. Like, look at his shirt. But she is too. It's just that,
Mm-hmm.
she's and I love every outfit she wears in this movie. Like, she has a very distinct style. I mean,
Well,
whoa.
okay, sorry. Back on
Mic
track.
check. Okay, so she shows up late, but she gives this big spiel about how the first horse wrangler in Hollywood was also the first black actor. Some other things she lists off. That he has a lot of accolades. I think it's really interesting that their family history of the Haywoods goes back that far. But none of the other people on set who are incidentally all white give a shit. And they don't listen to anything in the safety meeting. So the horse ends up, he doesn't even kick anybody. He kicks up a bunch of dirt, but they're so shitty about it that they fire them. OJ is the one who stayed home, and M is kind of all over the place, but she's like, I'm gonna go back with you. So they have this movie set up in sections that are like the names of the horses. They do stop by Stephen Yoon's ranch. He grew up to be, honestly, he's kind of a has-been. He has a ranch. It's not a big deal. I know that he wants it to be, but to keep things afloat, I think OJ sells some of the horses to this guy, because they're just not raking in the money as much as they want to be. And M kind of like gushes over him, and it's clear that Stephen Yoon has some trauma from the monkey, but this isn't about him. They put a lot of emphasis around the Stephen Yoon chimp story and with their ranch. He does have some shitty kids who like sneak onto their ranch dressed as aliens, and I'm not gonna lie, the first time I watched it, they scared the shit out of me because I thought,
Me too.
but they're not. They're just shitty kids. And he punches one of them, which I think is really funny because, like, if you don't want to get punched, don't pretend to be an alien and sneak into a black man's ranch.
All right.
They also could have scared the horses.
For sure.
I
The one was
remember
like
seeing
hanging
that.
upside down.
That's the one that got punched.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Hello.
trying to remember. Hello. Okay. Okay, so M makes a confession to OJ when they're at the house that she went to therapy, and so she was reminiscing on Jean Jacket, which these are the funnest names for horses. Jean Jacket, Ghost, Lucky. Lucky is kind of regular, but hello, Jean Jacket. And how she didn't get to train Jean Jacket even though the dad promised her that she could, and he gave it to someone else. I thought that was really sad. But I didn't really, I thought it was sad, but I didn't really like connect with those stories. I don't know if it's because whenever I think of horses, I think about Aunt Kay's farm, and it's
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm not a
I
horse
could care
girl.
less. I could care less about farm animals. However, I feel like because she was a kid, she's like, oh, that was like terrible for her. But he got a job to work Scorpion King. He
Yeah,
had to get them horses together. She
yeah,
needed to understand this is business, ma'am. But she was a
yeah,
child, so I
of course.
understand.
But it's okay because she went to therapy, and they still have a really great sibling bond, and it got even more solidified by aliens. So Ghost, the horse, gets out, and things take a creepy turn when she looks outside and she says, why is Ghost in the arena, right? It's like this beautiful like specter of a horse running through the freaking darkness, and she starts blasting music, and like, what a thing to do when you're out in the middle of nowhere, but bump music that you can hear from outer
I for
space,
sure would do that every single
right?
day.
And the horse fucking like takes off. The first nope is death. When things are afoot, when strange things are afoot at the Circle K, the lights go out. But it's not just like a and the power's out. It's like a what she said. Power outage, right? Power downage, I should say. And then there's like a thing in the sky. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. We had this conversation. I genuinely thought it was a flying saucer. Okay. I thought it was a UFO. I thought it was a machine. I thought it was a flying spacecraft. Right? So if you think that, then things get more and more unsettling as the movie goes on, and you realize that's not exactly what it is. And when I had told you that, you said, no, I knew it wasn't that. And I was like, oh, you're much smarter than I am, obviously.
It didn't look like a spaceship to me. It looked like a stingray.
I thought it and you said it. That scared me.
It scared me.
Yeah, it's pretty fleshy. But it was
Yeah.
dark, you know what I mean? And so one thing I definitely want to talk about is when I was watching interviews for this movie, Nope is a really great title for it for several reasons, okay? It's a really grand stereotype in horror, or this is more like a sci-fi horror thriller sci-fi. It's very heavy on the sci-fi movie. It is a lovely stereotype that when black folks are in this, if they're not dying first, as Hollywood likes to do, they're looking at a situation and going, nope, I'm not doing that. And it happens several times in this movie, as it should, because this is a nope situation. But then there's more to this. It's an acronym. And it was this interview with Kiki Palmer and why did I say almost say Jason Todd? Jordan Peele. Jason Todd is from Batman. I'm like, it's not the same. It's Red Hood. So she was like, "Oh, is it true that and I could be recounting this wrong, but this was essentially the gist that NOPE is the acronym for not of planet Earth." And he was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to just brief the plot because I'm scared. I want to talk about the scary parts, really. And there's a lot of plot. So they realize there's something weird in the sky. They recruit Angel, who is like this cute little geek squad guy with frosted tips, who's giving Dave Franco, right? I genuinely, when I first saw the trailer, I thought it was Dave Franco. He hooks up cameras because they want to get it. Obviously, they want to document it. And they even contact this man named Antlers, who is a world renowned. Did you not know his name was Antlers?
No idea until you just said that.
I'm gonna tell you that watching this movie with subtitles on will change your life. Squelching sounds, flesh squelching, and then also.
No, I turned on the surround sound.
No,
it went crazy with the surround sound. When it went, I wear my sunglasses at night. I was like, holy shit, bro. I was so scared.
I can't even imagine watching this in surround sound. I'm good with regular
it's
sound.
Scary.
This is a lot. So Ant is this world-renowned like cinematographer guy. And so M calls him and is like, "You're gonna want, there's something going on in Agua Dulce." That's the place where they live. Agua Dulce.
I've seen that.
I
just kept saying it in English and I was trying to figure out
water candy.
Sweet water. Sweet water?
I didn't think Sweetwater. Why?
I have no idea. Because it sounds like it would be a town more than water candy.
No, I know. Because then I said water candy, and then I was thinking, the Spanish is often not the actual literal translation, but what is cute. There is literally a Sweetwater in Miami, so there's help for me. We're gonna get through this.
Okay, let's do it. I'm the worst person for this job.
No, it's not. It's just that we had too many agua dulces before we started this. What the fuck? Young Angel sets up these cameras. Ant says no because he's like, aliens, nah. So they're like, all right, well, we gotta get this thing figured out. So they start learning that you need bait to get this thing out because he's hungry. She steals like a horse statue from Stephen Yeun, and he's a pushover. So he saw it and he was like, "Oh, I have some of those." And she's like, "Yeah, where'd you get yours?" And
he goes,
like,
"Where'd you get yours?"
And he's like, "Okay, that's fine. That is perfectly fine." So when things start to go awry, this thing sucks up the decoy. Okay. And because it's an actual space animal, it fucks up its digestional tract. That's not it. Digestive tract. It fucks up its digestive tract. So that thing gets pissed because it sucked up a statue and it got like stuck in its windpipe or whatever. So he's furious. The horses are freaking the fuck out. I literally put "it's in the cloud" in exclamation points. Like, I made myself laugh because I'm thinking of the cloud like with technology and nothing.
Funny.
So Angel is creeping on them and he calls and he's like, "There's a fucking bug on your camera." There was a huge praying mantis that would not fly away, blocking the view of their shot of this space animal. And Clover, I'm pretty sure, gets eaten. Another one of the horses. I don't know how I remembered that, but another one of the horses gets eaten. And Emma's like, "Let's fucking go. Let's leave. Let's leave." And he's like, "No, we can't because Dad worked hard for this place. This is our home. The horses need us." He's a horse guy. He is a horse guy. Oh, he's so cool.
He's a man's man.
He is a man's man. I love it. Animal safety is a huge theme in this movie, and then they finally show the entire clip with what happened with Gordy the chimp and young Stephen Yoon. Never at any point did I write down his character's name. I have no idea what it is. What?
The way that chimpanzee, that
Yeah.
lady said, came back to stirring, and he was like, "Oh, bitch." Like, I'm gonna finish you off now. Like,
Oh, are you still
he
breathing?
was so aggressive.
Yeah.
He was so aggressive. And then oh my gosh. Like, he sees the boy and they go for the fist pump, and it's like kind of hard because it's like he's an animal. Like, he's just an
Yes.
animal.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to explain to the little kid, like, listen, these people were fucking with me. I had no choice. We're still cool. And they off him.
One to the dome.
And I was like emotional about it.
I was too. It is a spectacularly jarring scene. His little monkey fist is
Oh,
covered
and it was
in
all covered in
blood,
blood,
like dripping, and little Stephen Yoon
oh.
is like right about to be like we have an understanding, and then right in the brain. And that's literally what this whole movie is about. It's about understanding. Are you okay?
He said, "This is what this movie's about."
Understanding
He said,
animals.
boom, right in the brain. It was tragic, bro.
It was. I'm not detracting from that. It's just that.
Sorry, I could not keep it together.
I'm sorry. I literally didn't even remember saying it. I'm just going. So, like, he's reliving this trauma while he's dressed like a freaking ranchero with his white wife and the sprinkle of people in the crowd at this show. He's like, I got something really good for y'all. You don't even understand what you're about to see today, right? After he just relived that monkey trauma. His kids are dressed as aliens because it's part of the bit that he puts on. And he has a horse and a glass box. And he's literally going to offer this thing in the sky, a horse, to show people this space animal. But this thing descends from the heavens. And it's like, oh, a horse? No. I want all the people in your bleachers. That's the snack that I want. And I think it's the most horrifying. Okay, I know the monkey thing was horrifying, but this scared the bejesus out of me because it was like really sinking in what this thing was. The way it sucked up all of those people, and they show it inside the stomach being squeezed, the screaming, the digestive noises, and like the screams echo. Like, that thing doesn't kill them right away. They suffer in stomach soup, and you can hear them screaming from the ground. That's the scariest thing ever. It's so scary to me.
That wasn't even the scariest part of it at all. The worst part is when he decides to actually kill him. And it's just goes from screaming to silence.
The sound of screaming is poignant because when this thing it's a really obscene move when you really think about it, that this thing goes to the house. All right, it's still got people half alive in its stomach. It hovers over the house knowing that Em and Angel are inside, and it literally like puke shits guts and signs and keys and everything it couldn't digest all over this house, and you can still hear people screaming, and Angel's like, who is that? He keeps yelling like, who is that? It's all the people this thing is eating. Like, literal
I feel like he was like, he marked his territory.
Yeah.
You know when dogs just like piss all over your shit because like, this
Yeah.
is mine?
Yeah.
Literally. He said, this is my house.
Yeah, he shitted all over the house, and then the house was his. But you know what he can't do? He can't suck people up through the walls. That's for sure.
For sure not.
You know how we find out? Because OJ, sorry, hits. It seems disrespectful to call him Otis.
I feel.
Otis is my father. That's my daddy's
Otis
name.
Jr.
You can call me OJ. He can't get sucked up through the thing. So then also because of this animal safety thing, he makes a discovery. I couldn't tell you at what point in the movie, but he makes a discovery that it's like you can't make eye contact with it or it'll eat you. So he looks down. That's not always respected in this movie though, because Angel gets sucked up and he's not looking at it. I'll walk you there.
I think he looked at. I think he looked at it.
Hello?
Hello? I think he looked at it. I think he looked at it.
Okay, yeah, I could be wrong.
He's a smart man. Angel's a smart man.
Angel is a smart man. I like his character a lot. He even like he gets them out of there at one point. He's like, you can stay in my little studio. Him and Em are playing VR. She's like staring at the wall. I thought that was so funny. Well, she's got the thing on. And OJ's pressed because he's like, I need to figure this out. So the news obviously reports on that thing, because all those people are just missing. Their cars are there and the people are just gone. And they're like, maybe it was flash flooding. And I'm like, that's silly. This place is drier than the Sahara, and there would be signs. It's drier than the Sahara. There would definitely be signs of flash flooding, but people believe what they want to believe, especially when there's a mass crisis like this. But when the reporter specifically says there's something weird going on in Agua Dulce, the cinematographer guy, Ant, just happens to be listening to the news at this time and is like, oh. And so then he's like, all right, I'm on board. And I love when he's like, yeah, I made this camera myself. And she's like, didn't I tell you this motherfucker was going to come out here with a non-electrical camera? Like, let's fucking go.
He's ready.
Oh, man. So they're like, they concoct this whole plan to get this spectacular event on camera. And I love how it doesn't even like pan out the way that they intend it to. There's a freaking showdown, and then in the middle of all of this, this TMZ guy on an electrical bike wanders into the whole thing, and they're like, man, you're gonna want to leave. Like, you're not gonna want to stick around here. And one thing about me is you don't have to tell me twice, especially in the middle of nowhere, because nope. Oh, say less. Weird things are happening. I mean, I did get sent out here because there's like a bunch of people missing and reported UFO activity in the sky, but like, let me just keep going even though you guys are telling me it's dangerous. No, absolutely not. We're not doing that. Why does my hair look like Jerry curl today?
It does.
Oh, okay. Giving soul glow. If you
just let your soul glow.
Okay, so I mean, obviously they're like pointing out the obvious. What do you think happens when you're riding a fast electrical bike and you hit a non-electrical patch? And then you hear him go like a Goofy moment when Goofy shot out into a cannon. And OJ tries to save him, but he's still like acting a fool. Like, oh, don't you guys want to be on TV? Your like back is broken. Like, guy, like nobody cares about that right now. Like, do you want to live? And then he's like, my bad, man. Like, and has to leave him behind. And everything gets very dramatic from here. Angel gets like wrapped up in freaking tarp and barbed wire while this thing's trying to eat everybody. And Ant gets sucked up with his camera because he's trying to get the perfect shot. But what does it matter if the camera and the film are also digested? No one's going to see that. But what a way to go. I'm not willingly sacrificing myself in the name of a photograph. No, I can't. Yeah, so they get eaten. I said the feminine urge to look up at that big spooky carnivorous hat.
Definitely.
So they figure out that guy is not gonna like flags because flags were attached to the statue horse, and it was like flags bad, so it almost gets OJ, and then he releases the flags and it's like but like this thing is he's intent on getting him. Like he's like, OJ is the prize, really. Like that's the one that I want. And so like he's willing to offer himself up so the thing doesn't get his sister. and M gets on the bike and heads off to old Stephen Yoon's ranch thing. And this thing's like, well, yeah, I'm gonna go after that one. I don't know why, when this guy and his horse are sitting right there, but it does. And at this point, it's no longer a spooky carnivorous hat. It is this big, like, billowy, wild butterfly balloon looking thing. It's the who drew this? You know what I mean? Like,
And then
who?
with like a camera in the
Yeah,
middle.
it's got like a little square and like like frills are like I don't know how to describe it. Like
It's
one
very
of those
strange.
one of those things, like party things that you blow into and it's got like the frills, like the paper made out of
Yeah.
paper. That's what it looked like. And I don't know if it almost looked like it could have been doing like a mating dance. I don't know. I don't know. But
Yeah, because
meanwhile,
why did it decide to open up like that?
because he was like, I have had enough of this shit. Y'all are getting ate.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, OJ's in this dazzling orange Scorpion King hoodie, about to get the job done. But this thing's chasing M. So she goes to Stephen Yoon's place, and there's a well that takes pictures of you like looking down. So it takes pictures of the sky. So she's like, great. She releases what looks suspiciously like a big boy balloon, but it's not a big boy, it's a cowboy, but it looks like big boy. It's
It
giving
looks
big
like a
boy.
boy.
Right. And this thing, because it's just an animal at the end of the day, goes after it and it eats it and it explodes it from the inside. And she gets the picture from the well. And then my favorite scene of this movie is she's going through this, like she's going through it, she's cut up, she can't breathe, she's dirty, and the dust settles, and there's OJ. He did not get eaten. There's OJ in his Scorpion King hoodie on the horse. And that's the
I
end.
wish I could remember what she said. She said something about don't don't
Oh,
mess
not
with the
like
hay
the
mounts, huh?
Haywoods.
The hay,
Yeah.
yeah, and it was great.
On the
My first
scroll.
note is WTF is up with Gordy.
Yeah. Because literally was like,
I have like a I don't know how to put it into words. I have a theory, but
okay,
I don't know. I have pieces of theory. Like I don't have like a solid like this is a firm foundation of what I think this movie is about.
okay.
But I
Theories
have
are
sentences. I
good.
have sentences. I think that the Asian boy was more important than we seem to think because
Oh, so I was wrong.
I think no. I think that the point had something to do with the fact that they're making a spectacle of like everything. First of all, that's like the first thing. And I feel
Yes.
like that was the thing that was attracting the animal to them was the fact that they make a spectacle out of everything. They're like looking at him in the face, but then also he's very much an animal. And
Yes.
I feel like OJ is like the OG animal trainer.
Yes, he has a very deep
He was,
understanding.
yeah, man. Like he knew. My favorite part of the movie was when he was in the truck and the thing came over him after he threw up
Yes.
all over the house. And he opened the thing just a little bit and he looked at it and he was like, close the door. And he was like,
Yes.
nope,
He said
nah.
nope.
And like he just knew on the cellular level, I'm not fucking with this animal. I'm gonna just wait him out. He never panicked. There was
No.
no sign of panic on his face at all. I was like, wow, you remind me of my dog trainer. He's just so like calm. You know, like they
Hmm.
know, like I feel like all animal trainers have the same attributes. Like they just know, like they have this weird. He had this weird connection to this alien. Like I'm gonna break you, like I'll break these gosh darn horses.
No, literally. I really like that.
So strange.
I really do. I think he's such a cool character because I feel like a lot of times in horror or horror adjacent movies, the calm, weirdly quiet ones end up being the bad guys.
Yeah,
So I really enjoy that that's not the case here.
yeah. He was really good for this movie, I think, and it was giving like extraterrestrial western,
Yes,
which was so strange.
I
It was
know.
so strange to me.
I'm sure it exists somewhere else, but I love that it's I love that Jordan Peele did it, because I feel like ever since he started making movies, like he is consistently trying to like push the boundaries of what's already there, as we should, because one of the things that I said about The Invitation, but it's that I was excited about it when I first saw the trailer, because I thought it was an original concept, and it's not. It's a retelling of a story that's been done to death. So I feel like this is important in general in a genre, because we were in the year of 2023, but also when it's Black creators pushing the boundaries is like extra point important. And then when it turns out like this good, and there were so many people talking about this movie when it came out, I think that's chef's kiss.
I think that I would like every single thing he does just because he does it. I know it's
Literally.
like not, people are like, it's trash, but whatever he does, I'm gonna like it.
Yeah, I can say he hasn't like not disappointed me. I never watched Key and Peele because you know me in comedy. I don't know. It just it's not my first choice. I like
It
laughing.
just
I
no,
do.
but I think you like laughing at things that are not funny to people. That's why. That's why comedy doesn't hit for you, because comedians do like universal, like this is good for this group of people, this is good for this group of people, and you don't go into those groups of people. You think stuff is funny that's not funny.
I'm
That's why you don't like comedy.
hilarious.
You are hilarious. Not that it's not funny. I think whatever you think is funny is hilarious.
We came from the same womb.
But other people don't think what you think is funny.
I'm okay with
Oh,
that.
yeah, it's
I'm
fine. But
super okay with
I think
that.
that's why you don't like to comedy's not for you.
She tries
Like
to
TV
get me to watch
comedy.
stand-up comedy all the time, and I'm just like, I can't sit through it. I would rather
I'm
die.
telling you, if you get high and watch a stand up, it's the best night of your life.
Do you know what I do
It's
when
the
I
best
get
night of my
high?
life. You watch scary movies.
I watch scary movies because then I don't feel anything. Like I don't feel the fear part.
I would feel so much fear,
I can separate
deep in
the
my
art from
spirit.
the fear when I'm medicated.
Can we talk about
Yep.
okay
Segue.
that
Ricka, ricka.
me personally? Let me not speak for the whole world, but when I'm medicated, I can tell if something's actually good on TV or if I just thought it was good and
Yeah.
it's really not. Like there's some like I can watch Game of Thrones like in an altered state and be like, this show is a masterpiece. Game of Thrones is a good show all the time. But if you watch Gossip Girl,
No.
it's like watching the people acting. I don't know how to explain it.
No, I get
There's
it.
no longer a show that you like. It's a play that you're watching in the audience with okay acting, and it's like this is not bringing me into the place. You know what I mean? Like this is
Yes.
not me being like, wow, this is so cool.
I'm not immersed in the experience. I'm just like watching some
Exactly.
people. And this is why I always say that like I could
Exactly.
never act because it's awkward to me. I wouldn't be able to create that experience for the person watching because it feels fucking goofy to me. Also,
Yeah.
I want to follow up her saying that Game of Thrones is a masterpiece by letting you all know that her dog's name is Benjen. Anyways, it's important, it's
Her friend of the
relevant
night's watch.
what
It
she
is very
said.
important.
It's very relevant, but I can do that, and that's why there have been episodes on this podcast because we watch a lot of trash movies because sometimes they're really fun. You know, I graduated from watching movies that I wanted to scare me to looking for more entertainment. Like, did I have a good time? Like just recently, last Friday when I went to when I went to the Popcorn Frights event to see Jason Goes to Hell. I'd never seen it before. I don't usually watch Friday the 13th movies because it's not one of my favorite franchises. That movie
Yeah.
was chaos from start to finish. It was the most chaotic thing I've ever seen, and I had a great time. I had a really great time, but I know that that's not for everybody, and I know that it wasn't necessarily good, but I had fun. And there are movies where I'm like, sorry, Elle, but Santa's sleigh, hot garbage. And I didn't necessarily have a good time. And yes, I can tell the difference when I'm medicated. Medication makes a lot of things possible. We're a medication positive
For
household.
sure.
So I
I'm
don't
very
know.
particular about what I listen to and watch at
Hmm.
that point in my life, because I'm like, this is supposed to be an experience for me right now. Every time.
Yes. And I won't go to sleep directly after watching horror movies because those aren't the messages that I want to deposit into my very sensitive
Right.
sleeping brain, even if I liked the movie, because I mean, murder, death, aliens.
Yeah, I'm for sure having bad dreams if that's the last thing I watch.
Yeah.
For sure, without a doubt.
I'll follow it up with a little Rick and Morty and then a nightly
Rick,
affirmation.
Rick. Amari used to sing that all the time.
Really?
Rick and Morty. Yes. Oh, right. Jordi did it. She'd be like, Rick.
Thanks, Jordi.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jordi.
Shout out to Jordi, gang. Make sure you put that
Love
in there.
you. I will.
Best friend.
Aw,
Okay.
you guys are cutie pies.
I
Kitties.
love her. She's
She
my
loves you.
soulmate. I
I,
never thought I would have a best friend be my soulmate. She's literally my soulmate. And
I say the same thing about Elle all the time.
I
That's why we
love
do
her.
this podcast together. Because we're best friends.
You are my best friend. How
Ooh.
does that song go? I can't. That's
I
not.
don't know.
Never mind. It's not a song.
This isn't a singing podcast. We just talk about
Sorry. We should have a singing episode.
movies.
We should have a
A
musical episode.
musical. Any final thought?
So I know like a lot of people didn't like that movie and whatever. I give it like a 5 out of 10.
Oh, you're
I
rating it.
don't think it was like, yeah, I'll give it like a 5 out of 10. But I still like it because of who made it and the people who are in it, and I would watch it like over and over again, just because I love them.
I think I think I'm gonna have to agree. I think I will give it I think I'll give it like a 6 though out of 10. We don't always rate things, but I like that you did it, so now I'm gonna do it. Mostly
I
because
think.
go ahead.
Hmm?
Hello.
I really think there's underlying religious themes here that we did not
Yeah.
unpack.
Well, yeah, and I was gonna say that because I just remembered I wrote down some of her outfits, and one of her
Yeah,
shirts on the back said the Jesus lizard.
yeah. I really think that there is like some religious themes here, man. But I don't think I'm equipped to talk about them because I just have the thoughts in my brains and not the words to say out loud.
No, I understand. I
But
understand.
don't you think it's strange, like the nickel and the eye and the strange verse at the end, and then when he said this was the longest 6 minutes and 13 seconds when Gordy attacked those people. I
Mhm.
forgot about that. He said this is the longest 6 minutes and 13 seconds. That is Matthew 6:13. Do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen.
Amen.
I really, really think that like he gave this about Nineveh and like bringing down empires and like sin and all of this stuff. Like I feel like correlation here that's not happening, that we're just missing because
Of
he's
course
good for
there
us.
is. Of course there is, because in literally all of his movies, and I wish we would have had Mel on this episode, but I forgot to tell her that we scheduled it today to see if maybe she could pop
Dang.
in. But she always has like this incredible insight because I did Us with her, and
Mm,
I feel like maybe she could have told us, but in all of his movies he has these deep hidden themes, like, so people who didn't enjoy the movie were probably watching this for surface level appeal, when if you're looking
yeah,
for a movie that's going to make you think and that every time that you watch it you're going to grasp onto something new, this is that movie. And I think
literally.
this is what the future of film should be. So yes, any movie that he makes, I think is going to be this kind, and it's going to end up on my shelf because this is what I love. This is why we're here, you know?
Mhm.
Movies that make you think and talk.
I feel like I'm gonna watch it again now because I want to. I feel like if I watch it enough, it's like I want to know.
I
I
want to
want to
know.
know exactly what's happening here. I want to know
Yeah.
exactly what's happening.
But even
The
if you
higher
do
I
that,
get, the more I'm like, wait a minute.
What was that? Ooh, I
We're
didn't
missing
catch
things.
that one.
We didn't even talk about the shoe during the Gordy attack. Why was the shoe standing up straight with the little dot of blood on it? Why did that lady's shoe come off and stay up like this the whole time with
I
this
just
little
got
dot of blood?
heebie-jeebies.
For what did it do that for? For why? What was the purpose of that? What happened there?
What was the reason, Jordan?
I want to know what the reason is.
I want to know what love is.
I want to know what love is.
And now it's going to be stuck in her head. And I
I
want
want
you,
you
Bobby.
to.
This is
Thanks.
now a singing
What
podcast.
was the commercial? It is a singing podcast because I feel like this is the second time
I am
that
the
you've broken
singing
out in.
telegram. Name that movie.
The way they offed that lady as soon as she sang that part,
What a life.
that was so disrespectful.
Well.
Clue is so underrated.
Clue is massively underrated. And I know this is a horror podcast, but there's murders in that. I feel like it can be horror adjacent. We should talk about it.
Definitely. Clue is such an underrated movie. That movie is like all the things like Kaleidoscope and like all of those things were like, oh, you watch in different ways. And then Clue started that.
OG. The OG Choose Your Own Adventure.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
All right.
Let it rain and clear it out.
This is also a dancing podcast. Anyway, Chow. All right. So you get a 5. I'm gonna give it a 6. But honestly, it is, I think everybody should watch this. I think that they're going to be showing these movies in film classes because there is impact. And I also think that these are the kinds of movies where you could always come up with something new that no one's ever mentioned before. Be like, oh, but did you notice this? Ta-da! All right. Well, it was so good to have you. I love having you on this podcast.
It was nice. It was nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
You make me smile.
Oh, I love you.
I love you. How does the ending go?
Sisters. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you can find this podcast on the interwebs at ghostinthemagazine.site or on Twitter at GITM Podcast. And you can find me on Twitter at WitchXPudding. And yeah, you can find Sam. You probably can't.
Nowhere. You
can find her on this podcast. So, just keep an eye out for more episodes. Go back and listen to Scream if you haven't listened to it. Okay, bye.
Bye.